Hi, welcome to Nighthawk Archery. My name is Ken Johnson and I'm going to demonstrate for you the Nighthawk bow press. The Nighthawk bow press is the safest and the most versatile bow press you can own. It comes complete. In other words, this bow press, as you see it, will press any compound bow. It'll press parallel, beyond parallel, or standard limb bows. It'll press narrow and wide limbs. It presses all compound bows. Now, these pressure points adjust. They're presently adjusted for wide limbs. They can, by loosening these screws, you can adjust it in for narrow limb bows. You can also adjust them along the frame to get around any attachment that may be on your limb. Also, there's these spacers. You put the spacer in here and you can get above any attachment that may be on the top of your limb. That's versatile. As I said, it is the most versatile press you can own. It is also the safest. All you do is you clamp it onto the limbs using this little clamp, tighten it down finger tight, and when pressure is applied, it clamps and secures itself to the limb and the press become one. That's safety. Also, the Nighthawk bow press uses a turnbuckle. Now the turnbuckle is the safest way to adjust anything. You get infinite control on compressing and infinite control on the release. That's safety. Also, the turnbuckle is made so it cannot be disassembled, so there's no surprises. And then there's this simple little clamp. You pull it one way, you lengthen the strap, another way, you shorten the strap. When pressure is applied, it becomes securely clamped down. You can press 42-inch bows and you can press 24-inch bows with the same press just by adjusting the strap. Now look at the frames. The frames are heavy, strong, very durable. These frames are used to press 200-pound crossbows. Now this press is mine. I've used it for a couple of years now, and I've pressed hundreds of bows, and you notice the condition. It's still in very good condition, a couple scratches in the paint, but otherwise it's in fine shape. So as I said, the Nighthawk bow press is the safest and the most versatile bow press you can own, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. The bow I'm going to press is a 70-pound beyond parallel limb bow. And when I mean beyond, it's beyond parallel at rest. Notice how the limbs curve in. So, why don't we get started? The first thing I do is I mount this frame, the frame without the turnbuckle, onto the bow. Quite simple. I just bring this on to place, hook these into the thing, into the clip on, and then move this so that this is going to end up on that point just below the axle, and now I tighten it down. Now I'm going to tighten it down all the way. So now it's clamped, and he says, I'll just show you. See, it's going to clamp right there below the axle. Then I will do the second end. Now the reason I do the first end, I do it in this order, is because the turnbuckle has weight to it. And so this end is a little harder to keep in place without lifting the turnbuckle. So I'm going to hold the turnbuckle up, mount the strap on, there we go. Now I can tighten it down. Put it down, with that to where I want it to finish. Tighten that down. Now when I press it, see, it's going to be right just below. Very good. And now I'm ready to press the bow. I just take the strap and I put a little light pressure on it like that, and now they are tentatively clamped. Now we're going to just make sure that the frames are aligned parallel with the centered and parallel with the limbs, and I adjust that just by leaning back, taking pressure off the clamp. That one looks nice. And we do the other one. Okay, again we just put pressure on and releases the clamp, and there we are. That one's lined up. Now I'm going to put some pressure on the strap, a little extra pressure on the strap, hold things in place. Then I just lift up, push all the way down, and take the rest of the clearance out of the strap, and we are now ready to press the bow. So just a simple matter of turning the turnbuckle, and it is quickly pressed. A little bit farther. And we are ready to change strings, put in a peep sight, put in a peep sight, do any maintenance you want on your bow. It's that simple. Now that the bow has been pressed, I'm going to show you that you can change cams while the bow is in the press with the Nighthawk bow press. No other press can do this. Now first I'm going to remove the bowstring to remove pressure from the cam. Quickly remove the keeper. Save my little pin here. Give this a tap. And there, the axle's out. And now I'm going to put the axle back in. And we got the axle in, and I can put the keeper on the other side, and as I showed you, when we press the bow, both sides of the limb are pressed equally, so the axle hole is kept in alignment. Now that we've pressed the bow, the last thing we need to do is release it, and so before we do that, quickly check the strings and the cables to make sure everything is in the proper place, and then we just release the press, remove the frames, and voila, it's done. What have we demonstrated? Well, we demonstrated that we can press a beyond parallel limb bow, which means we can press any bow with a Nighthawk bow press. Also, we've demonstrated that we clamp to the limbs of the bow, and that means that the bow and the press cannot separate. There are no surprises with a Nighthawk bow press. Also, we've shown that we can remove the cam axle and replace the cam axle while the bow is in the press, something no other press can do. We've also shown that the press can be adjusted for both wide and narrow limbs, and also to get around any attachment maybe on the limb or above the limb. So as you can see, if you want a safe bow press, if you want a versatile bow press, then you'll want a Nighthawk bow press. So I thank you very much for your time, and may God bless us all.